And the Telecommunications Industry Association's Chief Executive Officer, Scott Belcher, brings leaders from across the communications ecosystem that to gather at TIA 2016 Network of the Future Conference that is right here in Dallas, Texas. We're in the Dell TIA Now studio to debate and learn about the technology, business, and public policy issues that facing the information and communications technology industry. And Scott, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Ag. It's great to be here.
Well, it's great to have you. You're kicking off the TIA 2016 Network of the Future Conference. A specific focus really, and correct me if I'm wrong, on partnering with other entities out there. We partnered in the past with AT&T, as we did this time as well, but also Quest Forum and US Telecom. Why this focus on this shared approach?
Well, the industry's changing. The ecosystem's getting larger, there are more shows, and it's getting harder and harder for our members to go and participate in all the shows. So our view was the more we can give them one place to go to get the thought leadership, to get the networking opportunities, to get the business opportunities, that would be better. So, for example, we really value our relationship with AT&T, and they've gone big this year. They've doubled the size of their supplier conference, and now they've got the entire ecosystem here. Quest Forum is a partner organization that has a show every year about this time, so we were able to put our shows together. And US Telecom, we have a storied history with US Telecom, and it's so great to be back with them and have their support.
Now let's get into the conference program over the next 3 days. Now it's already started this morning, Monday, June 6th. There's a number of topics that we're really focusing on, really tracks, if you will. One of the 4 primary topics is cybersecurity. Another one is next generation and 5G networks. Third one is the Internet of Things, and then virtual networking as well. Let's start with cybersecurity. Why is this an important topic to talk about at this conference?
Well, because as we continue to add things into the network, I mean, as you move into the Internet of Things, as you start to add different systems, as you move into network functions virtualization, as you bring information into vehicles, into other things, you open up many more opportunities to be able to get to the system. And so cybersecurity is absolutely critical if we're going to move forward. People's privacy and the security of the system is incredibly important.
Now another track, and with a number of sessions right here at the venue at TIA 2016, is next generation networks and 5G networks, really. Why a focus on that?
Well, it's where the network's going. I mean, we've adopted 4G, we're moving forward with that. The carriers have announced that 5G is really on the horizon. You've got Korea and Japan in 2018. You've got Verizon in 2018. So it's right around the corner. And in fact, TIA is already talking about 6G. We've had conversations with the National Science Foundation about how we can continue to advance the technology. So it's exactly the right time to be having these conversations.
Now, of course, another track with a number of sessions as well in the conference program is the Internet of Things. This is the technology that just doesn't go away, right? Now you have smart cities, you have wearables, industrial IoT. It used to be called machine to machine. Again, a clear focus on this as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is an area that has changed over time. It's gotten different names, but you know, we've got a connected vehicle here. General Motors. It's got 4G. It's got LTE. It's got 3G. It has a 5.9 gigahertz radio in it. The Internet of Things is really transforming our industry, and it's going to be what really drives the network because of the amount of data that's going to have to be transported over the network.
Now, last but not least, our track session is virtual networking. Of course, network functions virtualization, software-defined networking, 2 really overarching topics in this track session. Why a focus on that?
Largely because the carriers really think it's important. As they try to squeeze every dollar out of the system, try to optimize the system, try to remain competitive, they're going to continually move more and more to software. And the suppliers have got to be ready for it. And these are their suppliers, the ones who are building the systems that they're going to be deploying. And so we need to be having those conversations at every turn.
Now, we talked about some of the overarching track sessions throughout the next few days, but let's start really with the program this morning, June 6th, Monday. Again, we're in Dallas, Texas. We started with an SDN tutorial, also a 5G workshop, and finishing the day with a cabling infrastructure workshop. Why did you decide to start the conference program with the educational workshops?
Well, as a technology-based organization, we really cross all parts of the companies. I mean, at the top, when we talk about the keynotes, we've got the top executives from all of the major companies here, but we also have people who work on standards. I mean, we have hundreds of engineers who work on standards all the time and volunteer their time to develop standards through TIA. And so we needed to give them value too. We need to make sure they had something to do and they could continue to learn. In fact, we have a structured cabling workshop where we're giving, the attendees are earning credits towards their degrees so that they can keep their degree up to date.
Now, tomorrow, June 7th, the conference program really starts with a number of really high-level keynote addresses. You're welcome to mention a few of those if you want, but what's the importance of having these visionaries speak at events like this?
Well, you need to know where the industry's going, and we have not only do we have key executives from the ISPs, from Verizon, AT&T, and Comcast, but we've also got key executives from our own service provider industry. We've got Cisco and Accenture and Red Hat. We have some of our ultimate customers. We've got General Motors. These are important because they're talking about where the industry is going, and that's what we have to build towards. And if we're not building towards where the industry is going, we're going to go out of business. And so it's important to hear that, and it's important to challenge ourselves. And we've got the best keynotes, I think, of any conference I've seen.
Now we wrap the conference on Wednesday, June 8th, with a number of sessions within a track, but also the AT&T Supplier Conference starts on Wednesday. That's 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. again at the Renaissance Hotel in Dallas, Texas. Why is this invitation-only event important?
Well, because this is the opportunity that AT&T takes once a year to pull all of its suppliers together. There'll be over 750 AT&T suppliers that will hear from the leadership of AT&T at every level about what's important to them, what we need to do to meet their needs. It's a great event, and it's so important to be able to do it with our event because, again, TIA is the suppliers organization, and so we're all here. So it just makes perfect sense.
Now, of course, you always want to improve from the year before on these annual conferences. What do you hope to gain or really improve at TIA 2016?
Well, I think we've done a couple of things. I mean, one, I think bringing the workshops is important. I think the branding, I mean, look at the hotel, it's incredible. I mean, I think this is a super opportunity. It elevates the network and business opportunities, and that's what this is all about, is networking and business. And then I think we've added more of a cutting edge to some of our educational and our keynotes, so that we've got some folks who are talking about, for example, we have a woman named Robin Chase who is talking about the whole sharing economy. And that's so important to what we're doing. If you look at companies that are buying car sharing and ride sharing companies right now, and not untraditional companies like General Motors, like Google, and so we're pushing the envelope, and I think we're going to continue to do that, and we'll do that next year as well.
Scott, one more question before we go. If I'm sitting at home in the Dallas area, I'm watching this, and I'm trying to figure out, am I the right candidate for an attendee at a network conference such as this? What would you say to that person? I'd
say you are if you're engaged in any way in the whole kind of communications industry. We have the whole ecosystem here. It's all about the future. And so if this is your business, whether it's cable, wired, wireless, whether you're at the line level, whether you're doing standards or an executive manager, if you're in the industry, in this ecosystem, this is a place to be.
Scott, it'd be great to see you on the floor throughout the conference. I know you have a few speaking engagements coming up, so I'm sure you're getting ready for that. And thanks for having all of us, and thanks for putting this together.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
Thanks, Scott. And thank you for joining us at TIA 2016, again from the Dell TIA Now studio. For more coverage, you can visit us at tianow.org. So long.